Jesus Christ. What time? It's only 2:16, right? It's only.
Guys, all right.
How many of these have we done?
I'm literally sweating. Okay, so cut to the chase so we're not like keeping you in the dark. And please talk to us. Please send us questions. I won't be able to see the board over here, but Matt will.
See. Hello.
But hi, everyone.
Bishop, there's gang.
Hi. We spent 6 minutes trying to figure out how to go live. Now,
so next time we are. That's my calorie-free cream soda that I stole out of the dog fridge. Yours?
I have no cooties.
Gross. Right. So you wanted to. Anyways.
Hi guys.
It takes a while to figure things out.
Yeah, we're not so great at the text.
We need to create a mini Moynihan that we can just sort of keep.
Mini Moynihan.
We can keep in the
running around my apartment.
Shut up.
Trying to go to sleep. It was Michael. Anyway, I love Michael. Hi guys. We just actually had a super fun 45 minutes with Megan Kelly.
Yeah, it was Nancy's maiden voyage.
That's right. And what did she say? What was going to happen? How did she announce it?
Oh, she said that to her listeners and viewers that you're going to love her.
Someone you're going to love.
Still basking.
I am. I'm basking. It was actually super fun, super easy. She makes it very easy. And of course, you're a pro. So you guys just kind of hauled me along. It was fun. We talked about the State of the Union. Talked a little bit about policing. She asked me about John Gacy. Seems to be perennially interesting. And we were glad to do it.
Yeah. Next time, maybe she'll even mention that I work for Reason Magazine.
I know she did twice. So
she did this. I love Megan. And one time when I went on there with the Colin Boys, she said that I was the founder of Reason, which was.
Well, that's good. So it's one or the other. You're either the founder or you don't work for them at all. So that was fun. I hope you guys tuned in or will tune in. I've actually, I don't know how you tune in there. It's on Sirius, but it's video. What?
So they're hearing feedback noise. The people.
Oh, the people.
Okay. Oh, now.
Guys, listen. We managed to get us live. You can't have cake and eat it. Maybe our mics are. Our mics are on. Are our mics on? Hold on a second.
Let's see if we can. The mics are on.
I can hear us.
Sounds messed up. There's a pinging feedback, and you were really inaudible. Well, that's no good. Let's see. Let's see.
We're sorry, guys.
Okay. So let's.
Is this on? Yeah.
Is this on? Let's see. If we can...
So go up to. Now, see, we really do need the mini Michael. Damn it.
Some feedback. Sorry, I can barely hear what's being said. This is terrible.
I'm sorry, guys. Let me see something. I mean, if we use the computer audio.
Where do we get to that?
Oh, well, click mic. Click mic down in the right.
That's.
Can't see anything.
That's not helpful.
No, do that again.
There and then.
Oh, it turns it off.
No.
Okay, up to. This is the best one ever. Plus, you're getting a nice cleavage shot here. This is good. Yeah. That's what you came for, right? Yeah. I don't know. So, guys, is the sound? Oh, hi.
I'm just doing over here.
Okay.
Right.
Is the sound bad for everybody? Like, raise a hand or
feedback
something.
Feedback was fixed momentarily.
When my cleavage came on, I audio hallucinated or something.
Wonder if that's better like that.
Is that better? For some reason? Now we can't tell though because we can't see.
Yeah.
Oh man,
what
guys.
the living hell is wrong with us?
Okay.
Nope, don't do that. Oh. YouTube wants to use your microphone.
Yes, allow.
How are we doing?
Okay, that should be good. Okay,
all right,
guys, go back.
Into this.
Better?
How are we?
Better? Yes! Matt fixed it. Amazing.
Still doesn't sound like the audio is coming from the stuff. But
well,
all good. Don't change things.
I can't.
Cleavage did it.
Thank you. The magic cleavage. Yeah. Anyway, hi. Sorry. Yael Bartor says it's part of the charm. I don't know. It's probably going to wear pretty thin at a certain point.
Yeah,
but
next year.
We haven't seen you guys. We haven't been in the studio together in at least
In
5.
Coon's age.
At Coon's age, 6, like probably 6 weeks or so. Matt was on the West Coast. I was gone for 4 weeks. But we're back here now. We're making good use of it. You fifth guys might be here tonight. I was here yesterday. I did a podcast, and then we just did Megyn Kelly, and we've been recording our pieces. Go over to Paloma Media and listen to those, and kind of getting back in the swing of things for a little while.
Yeah, so let's cut to the chase. We were thinking that we should send Nancy to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you think that's a good idea.
Raise your hand, guys. Hold on. I'll raise my hand. I bought my ticket.
She bought her ticket.
I am.
So we want people to give her money so that she can go to Ukraine.
That's just, I mean, we were going to come on here anyway. I had not bought my ticket when Matt got over here today, but I did buy it after we had a little lunch. I'm heading out on Friday. I'm heading with a friend of mine. She is part of a group. She gathered a whole bunch of medical equipment and medical stuff that people need over there from someone with a VA group, a veterans group. And she said she's flying over on Friday, so I'm going to go with you. And of course, I'll do some reporting for Paloma Media, maybe a couple of other places if they'll have me. And I'm taking off on Friday, and I'll land in Warsaw noon on Saturday, and I'll be out for about a week. I mean, I guess I could extend that if I wanted to, but we've put a whole bunch of links in the show notes here if you want to give me some money to try and get there, because it's only us funding it. So we'd appreciate it. We'll make it easy for you. And I mean, I'll post some stuff too. Maybe I'll YouTube from there. We'll see. I mean,
imagine you fixing the tech on the Ukrainian Polish border.
It's going to be super easy, especially like when I don't know where I am and I don't speak the language. It's going to be great, guys. Promise. But if you want to hit one of those things, you can hit your whatever it is here.
There's even the little chat money thing. Like you can click on the $sign if you want to be all. Oh, see,
look at
that.
that. I can't read what that says. I think it says $10. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much. I can't. I'm
you
sorry.
You wear glasses. Okay, it's okay. You don't be so vain about your eyeballs.
Can I just say something? I can't see distance, but I can still read the menu, guys. I'm like the only person over 40 that can still read without glasses. So I've got one good quality. I know. It's amazing. I was 12 when my daughter was born. But yeah, that I really appreciate it. And let's see.
I mean, way before we were beginning to talk about building a studio called Paloma and doing things like that, one of the concepts of what we would have liked to see in the world was, wouldn't it be great to, if some weird crap is going on in the world, wouldn't it be great if we could know that there's journalists that we could trust go doing stuff? And the classic tale is that we did that with Nancy. By we, I mean me and Jake Siegel jawboned her into hopping on a one-way.
Didn't take much.
Plane back to Portland during the beginning of the ruckus there in the summer of 2020. She did a similar thing that was actually crowdfunded to Minneapolis.
To cover the Chauvin trial, because I'm freelance, guys. So I mean, I do write for a reason, obviously, and they pay me, but I got to get myself places, and freelancing isn't exactly you don't make $1 million a piece. Let's just put it that way.
And also, now that we have this thing called Paloma that Nancy and Scott Ross especially are cranking out every day. If you're not going out and checking out palomamedia.com, it's been a hell of a week over there. It's been going live since the middle of November, and they've just been doing tremendous stuff. And we're trying to create a space that allows for this kind of thing. It's the idea behind it. Hopefully, bigger and better as life goes on. But the notion is, let's put people that we can trust on an airplane and go in the middle of things and see what they come back with.
It's funny. We've got a friend, someone we know in real life, someone who's a big Fifth Column fan, and he went and became a Patreon member of Paloma yesterday, which was great because obviously we're looking for those. And I said, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And he's like, "Well, I didn't know about it." And I'm like, "God, I'm always like talking about it here, and I'm sorry if we're like bending your ear, but I would love it if you go. I mean, you can go subscribe for free, or you can become a Patreon member. But if you want to go over there today, I gotta say, I think this was our best day. We've got 3 stories up there. We've got Matt reading his piece from his State of the Union piece from yesterday from Reason. We've got another piece. It's my 5th piece called Dispatch from Portland 2022. And then Scott wrote a really, really great, even moving piece about, one of the big Russian oligarchs owns one of the soccer teams in London. And Scott's like, well, let's not go to the games. Like, that's the way to do it. Just don't do it. You have the power to try to take some power away from this guy. Anyway, go check it out. We're having a blast. We're about to do a little redesign, and I think you'll like it. I think, we've said we want to give you some delight when you get up in the morning. It's going to be some serious news, but there's some jackassery and there's some beauty over there. And we would love to have you. I would love to get more people in the room because I think it's really fun. I think we're doing good work over there.
Tim Thompson, music.
Hi, Tim. So Tim's who I went and had drinks with in Savannah. I've told you about Tim. Yeah. Thanks, Tim.
There you go. That's super sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy times. Crazy times. I'm really worried about the next week in Kiev.
Yeah.
In general, there's almost 1 million people across the border already. So like those refugee lines are going to be insane by the time we get there.
I actually have an interesting question. I might as well ask it here. So is there anyone here that would consider taking in refugees? I mean, it's obviously a long trip from the Ukraine to come here. They're going to funnel into Europe.
Yeah.
But would you take in refugees? I actually thought about it. I was like, we could put 2 people in here.
Well,
I know it's more complicated than that.
It's more complicated than that. When I lived in Budapest, especially, but also in Prague in the 90s, the Yugoslav wars happened there, and very different in many ways than what's happening in Ukraine. You had a flood of young people. I think hundreds of thousands of young people. And
Wow.
Yugoslavia is not that big to begin with. Who it's not like their homeland was being invaded by a hostile outsider. It was a civil war. In a country was breaking apart, and so they didn't want to take part in the civil war. They didn't want to be conscripted by an asshole to go shoot a Croat or a Serb or a Bosnian. And so all of these really beautiful young people started washing into Prague and Budapest, and we hired them at the newspaper like we did in Prague. In Budapest, I had 2-3 different refugees stay with me. I mean, one friend. But another one's a guy that I didn't know anything about. In fact, I helped sponsor him get into this country, which he didn't deserve because he's a total dickhead. Like he's a Bosnian piece of shit.
Did he come? Is he here?
He's here. He's here. He's like a successful software engineer. He's like a serial liar, jackass when he stayed with me. But no, that was when you're in there. People want to come and they want to come temporarily until the madness blows over. So you don't necessarily want to get on a plane. And as I saw from a Polish woman, I think, and in the report today, like, hey, you know what? This is familiar. This has happened in the past. People being driven away by a horrifying hostile army. There will certainly be no shortage of available bed space in Hungary, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia and Poland, I do believe.
Can you read these questions?
Yeah, sure.
Because I can't.
Ileana, yes, I'll take in refugees. Of course you will, gypsy. Look, BU Vandals right there.
He's the best.
Contingent upon Nancy listening to Back in the USSR while on the plane to Poland. That's fine, but the Billy Joel version? Or
oh, please.
That's what he played. He did him and the
I like that song.
Concert.
I have a soft spot in my heart for that song because at our 6th grade dance, like the first dance, they played that, and that was like, oh. So I have a soft spot in my heart for that song. Sorry.
So you were in 6th grade when the White Album came out?
No, it was an oldie. God, you're just no. I'm either 44 or 64. We can't decide. So So what else is going on, dude? You've been we were both out in San Francisco.
It's true. We're there for the recall.
Yep. We both covered it. I covered it for Paloma, and Matt covered it for Reason. And then I tagged along with him when he interviewed. Let's see if I can get their names right. Their last names: Louis-Jean and Raj. Those last names.
Shivaraj and
Louis-Jean. No. Anyway, it was Autumn. Really, really interesting, really good people, really, really dedicated to grassrootsing it and getting this done. And I think what really happened with the San Francisco recall, of course, the progressives who were against it and the people on the school board that were against it are saying like, this was a total billionaire class to get us out. But I think what really happened was it started as grassroots. They got, people out there. One guy that I interviewed, he was out there at every farmer's market. He rode his bicycle to Daly City.
Was awesome.
He was amazing. And then what happened? They got enough momentum and they got signatures on the ballot. And then people that weren't part of more of the billionaire class were like, cool, we're for this too. And they hopped on, but it really did start at as a grassroots effort and got people that were never involved in politics, as Autumn and say his first name? Shiva said. They're like, you kind of send your kids to school. You don't think about this stuff. It's not until something breaks that you then look inside and you realize, oh my God, it's crazy town in here.
And Shiva, who's an immigrant from India, was very funny. It's like, look, immigrants want to keep their head down. First of all, they don't understand this damn country.
Yeah.
And second of all, they're trying to start a software company or do whatever and just kind of navigate the waters. And then suddenly to be face to face with dysfunction. He said a line that's going to stick with me for a long time, which is that wealth buys you insulation from government failure, right? Or protection from government failure. You can just sort of like keep on looking up, as Ethan Strauss sort of
right. It's like that's right. It's like they say, don't look down. When you look down, you see all of the problems. Another thing that I would note, I think it said that 39% of the population in the public school system is Asian.
Mm-hmm.
Do not fuck with Asian immigrants and their children and their education. Don't do it. Like, they came here, work hard, they want their kids in school. And all of a sudden, their kids were not in school. And they're like, you know what? We don't usually mobilize. We're mobilizing.
It's also the kids are not in school, and the one real academic focused elite school there, the school board changed their entrance requirements after like 5 days of deliberation, just like, let's change them. And that school has a disproportionate number of Asians compared to the rest of it. And this is not necessarily rich Asians.
No,
this is Chinese immigrants tend to not be anti-rich. And whenever there was complaints about it, and including the woman who got recalled the hardest.
Oh boy! Oh
Allison Collins, about the most loathsome public official I've ever even read about. Amazing. Among her many other hits, she referred to Asian American right after Donald Trump got elected in 2016. She criticized Asian Americans for not speaking out loudly about Donald Trump and called them House N 4 asterisks S.
Like AS.
No, it's just N 1, 2, 3, 4 S.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that's how it was.
I don't. You know what we're talking about.
That's what her words, not mine.
Yeah.
I don't want to disappoint Camille Foster here in my recitation of.
He only once every 5 years you say it. That's something it. Yeah.
But no, it's just awful. And also she sued her own school district and the city, which is a school district that has $125 million deficit.
No, I think it's like 350 million or whatever.
It's a huge number. Yeah. But she sued them for $87 million once, just because she was defrocked for being the vice president or the vice chair of the school board and being just one of seven members. And like very explicitly given the back of the hand to Asian Americans, basically calling them white adjacent. And that's not going to flow. Matt Taibbi, who has written really interestingly about the Virginia Glenn Youngkin election and the role that schools played in that too, also hit a lot of this. And I want to say thank you to Mary Newsom out there.
Thank you, Mary Newsom. Thanks
for the incredible work y'all both do, and stay safe, Nancy.
I will. When I told Matt I was going, he's like, don't get blown up. So I will not do that.
Shannon Moore, and I'm not going to pronounce your name wrong. So Matt, what did you give up for Lent? I gave up remembering that it was Lent. So far.
That's right. We're supposed to give up something now for 40 days. I think our friend Yael is going to have a dry March. She's not going to drink anything in March.
She's going to stop taking edibles and going to Shabbat dinners.
Does she take it? She said she didn't even know you guys were taking edibles. You didn't take an edible.
I didn't.
I know. I don't do that stuff anymore. But please go with God.
Shabbat.
Yeah.
Sandy Balzer, I didn't see you at Shabbat dinner, Sandy.
But we did see Sandy in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm going to see Sandy in San Francisco when I go back for the Chesa Boudin recall, which I am going to do because he's got to go too. I am.
You've got to.
I've got beats, dude. I've got beats. Yeah.
That's fine. So that's what we're doing. And what else do we want to talk about?
Come on, man. Come on. I don't know, just still covering the stuff up in Portland, though I guess I'm going to take a little break from that for a while. Got a redesign for Paloma Media coming up pretty soon. It's going to look pretty slick. And I don't know.
Yeah. we're all frantic here trying to deal with the tech. Leah coming with a 1999 goes to the front of the line.
Leah,
Like,
whoa.
boom.
That might be that's like our second biggest donation ever. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, it's very helpful. Hopefully Nancy's going to be able to go to Sandy's is getting ready to get Chase Boudin out.
Hell yeah.
We're hoping Nancy gets to go see Jose Andres, the great chef who's out there always feeding people in troubled zones.
Yep, I've made some contact with them. Made some contact with people in Warsaw. And I guess we'll be driving to Lviv, and we're going to see what I find. I mean, I'm glad to be able to help bring some medical equipment and needed stuff over there, and then we'll see what kind of stories we find. I do not speak Ukrainian. I do not speak Russian. But you know what? Just get on the ground and we'll see what we find.
The Polacks speak English by now. Okay. They're smart people.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Well, they do. I mean, every Polak I know speaks English.
Yeah.
So
I'm just glad we brought that Polak. I thought I was.
Is that not okay? I don't.
Well, like. We grew up, right? We're a little older than some of you. That was the biggest joke, was the Polak joke.
Oh, always.
Always. Like,
always.
And the thing was, of course, that they were stupid. Like Wojciechowicz and Barney Miller.
Oh my God, who I know? I know him in real life.
Do you really?
Yeah, Max Gale. He was friends with my late father-in-law, Will Sampson. They were friends.
Was he kind of an oaf?
He was a doll. He was not an oaf actually at all.
That's
he was like super nice, super nice guy. Yeah.
But yeah, so these jokes, though, everyone told them when we were growing up, is what we did, and then suddenly it stopped. And I would totally read a 75,000 word New Yorker deep dive into why the Polak jokes stopped.
I remember a Polish joke.
Okay.
So these three guys are up. They're like, they work on a building. They're like sitting on the stanchions there, and they're sitting there with their lunchbox. And the first guy is Italian. He opens up his lunchbox. He goes, "Ah, lasagna again," and he throws it away. And his wife made him a lasagna again, throws it away. The second guy is Irish. He opens it up. He's like, "Oh, Irish stew again." He throws it away. And the Polish guy just throws the lunchbox. They're like, "What?" He goes, "I made it myself."
That's pretty good.
Sorry, that's from when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I think it was because of the crackdown on Solidarity in 1981. I've been having fun times of deep diving into Central European crackdowns. Sort of wrote a super overly long piece about yesterday at Reason, I think.
Which is a great piece.
About Hungary 56, right? Like there's a lot of people who are rubbing their hands wishing that the U.S. enforces a no-fly zone or somehow gets militarily involved, tend to forget that there were Moscow-led invasions of allegedly sovereign countries throughout the Cold War, and they were terrible. Including in Poznan, Poland in 1956, and spectacularly Budapest, Hungary in 1956. And we didn't do all that much because nuclear war is real super bad, and you don't want to like have a hot war between nuclear armed superpowers. But also that like as horrible as it is, and it's I'm afraid it's really going to get bad in the coming days. I'm very worried about that. People who own their own revolutions and their own independence tend to own their own revolutions and their own independence in a way that's very meaningful. Ileana knows this from Romania.
Yeah.
You just get the dictators by their feet, drag them through the street. And it doesn't mean Romania is a perfect country or anything like that, but it changes the nature of what happens when it's the U.S. putting its thumb on the scale, or anybody else, a colonial power putting its thumb on the scale. But it also brings up issues of do you set yourself up as an empathetic and kind of a beacon at the same time for those people, and do you accept the refugees? And I think the answer should be goddamn yes. I think there will be no. Hopefully, we'll rewrite our refugee intake rules as let this prompt us to doing that, because that has closed down over the last 5 years in ways that's terrible.
It's very mingy. It's gotten very shamefully small.
Mary says, as a half Polak, we said Polak growing up, but Polak, I think, is the East Coast way. Can confirm Polish jokes are hilarious. A friend of mine named Axel, who I used to be in a band with, German dude, he has the correct take, I think, that every Hitler joke is hilarious.
Oh.
It just, like, it's by definition funny. Unless it's a pro-Hitler joke. But even then...
Pro-Hitler joke.
I'm not going to be able to do the Joan Rivers one. Justice. And it's super not funny if it's not Joan Rivers. You
Try.
She's talking about Anne Frank. Why am I doing this to myself? She was talking about Anne Frank, and she's like, those Germans, they're so hot in those uniforms. You know, they're so sexy. If I was Anne Frank, I'd say, come on in, boys.
She was great. She was great. Very, very funny. Very funny.
Hitler jokes. Fun. Matt telling Hitler jokes. Not.
Yeah, it's okay though.
Brad says very close. Thank you.
Very close.
Came as close as I can. What else? What else did we want to talk about? We had an agenda here.
We did. It was the Ukraine. We're on
the Ukraine.
Thank you. I see aqua color. That's all I see.
Mickey Freeland.
Okay, so Mickey Freeland, I would just like to say he's like the fifth Beatle at Paloma Media, right? Because wait, drum roll, please. Give me a drum roll.
Okay. We are supposed to stay now.
Okay, so our podcast, the House of Paloma Production, Ask a Jew, was named Best Jewish Podcast of 2022 last week.
That is fantastic.
By the Jewish Journal. So Yael Bartour and Chayalea Sufrin, who are like the hilarious hosts. Go listen. You can listen. We always put it on Paloma Media, but we have also the Paloma Media like podcast channel. But Mickey here does all the editing and does all the hand holding, and then he sends me the file. So dude, we would not be there, or not me, you guys, the whole thing wouldn't be there without me. So Mickey, thank you.
And he also asked, because Nancy can't read.
I can't.
Because she's vain.
I'm sorry. That's how it goes.
Any discussion yet on odds of Putin launching nukes if backed into a corner?
Well,
very, very, very low. It's a bad idea. If he launches a nuke, there's gonna be a mutually assured destruction in his face, and that's not a really good way to go. And I'm freaked out, and the DEF CON got closer. I'm gonna go watch War Games, I think, with Easy sometime soon. And it's very fraught, and it makes one nervous, but also him stressing this is an admission of weakness. I mean, you don't need.
Sure. Well, what do we weak people do, right? That they create, they up it. I mean, Fiona Hill is the one that she was asked in an interview. I don't know where it was yesterday. It's like, what do you think? Do you think that he was actually do this? And she said, yes, I do think he would. And I don't think he is someone, I mean, he has created out of whole cloth these reasons why he has invaded a country. And who knows what his people believe and what they don't. All the stations are owned by the state, right? How do they get their information? There's no reason. He doesn't need to invade this country. He's decided to do it. He has decided he doesn't care if he's just going to kill people, if he's going to be hegemonic, if he's going to get his way. I don't know. I would not say that is never going to happen. I hate to say that.
I wouldn't say it's never going to happen, but I still think the odds are very low.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
It's worth not, again, having the two nuclear armed superpowers be in a hot war with one another for precisely that reason. But before the invasion's last big demand in mid to late December was that all NATO troops go west of, I forget where, but pretty far west. Even in NATO countries, and it was just like that's not even a possibility. So it was an indication that he just wanted to do this, and he's doing it. And I think he's being surprised by how difficult it is to do. They can win control over cities at great cost to human beings, but just look at your propagandistic but awesome Twitter feed of 1,000, 5,000 Ukrainians on a narrow road blocking
unbelievable
Russian vehicles
with their bodies.
And those Russians are conscripts. Many of them have not been told what they were doing.
Their kids.
Some of them are abandoning their vehicles and leaving the keys in the ignition or whatever. So it's going to be more difficult than possible than he believed initially. And at some point, that's got to be some kind of reality he has to deal with.
I have a very ignorant question, which to Matt is not going to be ignorant. I mean, Matt's going to know the answer instantly, but maybe some of you guys don't know it either. So NATO, there's 29 countries in NATO, I believe. And the US is like absolutely no boots on the ground for now, right? Does that mean if you're part of NATO, does that mean everybody pledges to put no boots on the ground, or can Okay, so other countries could, if whatever, Poland decides, you know what, they can do that and not be like going in and against any like NATO bylaws.
NATO has to invoke Article 5 of Common Defense to say that they were attacked in order for it to be a NATO thing. But individual countries, I mean, Turkey and Greece are part of NATO. They've been involved in various wars. The U.S. is part of NATO, and NATO hasn't been, except for the one case of Afghanistan, was the only time that article was ever invoked. It's a defensive organization. So the individual countries can do that. And who knows, maybe they will want to be, although I think they'll be in pretty close. I mean, Estonia is not going to be sending flights over because that's going to invite lots of different problems.
But. Sure, but you know, we're at a position now. If you look, I haven't looked at a map of where Russia has infiltrated yet today, but I did last night, and it was pretty freaking scary. You know, you're looking at those kind of red zones kind of creeping toward each other up from Crimea and then, you know, down from the north. It's scary. It's scary.
I want to hit a couple of quick comments before I have to leave.
Yeah.
So we'll have to bounce out of here. It's a quick 30 minutes for us here.
Yeah.
But Leah points out, Nancy, your bangs look really good today.
Well, thanks very much. I'm actually going at 5:30 to get a little touch up on the pink, but thank you. I have a good haircut.
And Sterling says, I had a professional interest in Russia analysis for 20 years. Was shocked to see Putin looking so unhealthy last week. I do wonder how much time he believes he has to secure his legacy. Yeah, man, he's been weird. I think there's been a U.S. propaganda push of saying that, you know, we think he's crazy. He's crossed some line. But he has looked really weird. The speech from a week ago or 8-9 days ago was unusually unhinged. And he hasn't looked very good. Like after he met with the oligarchs, he looked genuinely shaken by things. So, and this is a legacy play. I mean, this is the culmination of that his entire political career has been, which is a restoration of the loss of dignity associated with the end of the USSR. And so far, he's been able to accomplish that by a mix of bluster and kind of more special ops type military operations in Grozny and in Georgia and elsewhere. This is the first time that it's like, it's the big one. And that's just different. And I don't think he had a great sense of the realisticness of it. And when it's this thing that you've been building up for so long, and it's not turning out well, and the world is really united against you.
Completely.
Even Serbia today called for Russia to withdraw. That's crazy. Serbia is borderline client state right now. My banks do not look cute, but I appreciate the help there, D Carolina or Carolina D. So yeah, it is very, very worrisome, and you do wonder about off ramps. But you also, you know what, war creates its own sort of kinetic energy, and he started this war.
Yep.
He can create his own damn off ramp, as far as I'm concerned. Wolverines. Go. Okay.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Do me a favor. Could you tell 2 friends? Was that some commercial? You tell 2 friends, and they'll 2 friends. Tell them about Paloma Media. We'd love to get you over there, and I'm going to be putting up some stuff about Ukraine. Matt keeps writing too, and Scott, and we would just love to have you over there. If you can become a Patreon member over there, great. That'll help me get to Ukraine, and I love you guys, and thank you for joining us.
Get Nancy to Ukraine and make sure she doesn't get shot at.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to do that, but maybe she'll wear some socks.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.